This week on Record in Focus, religious leaders call for more military action in Iraq. Controversy over Melbourne's World Congress of Families. And Hillsong set to clean up at Nashville's Dove Awards.
This is InFocus Christian News and Current Affairs.
Those stories coming up soon. Hello, it's great to have your company today. Now, Kent Kingston, I hear you're brushing up on your Chinese language skills.
Well, not quite.
What's up with that?
I think you actually need skills in the first place in order to brush them up, and I don't have any of those skills. But sort of. A little later in the program, Pastor Sammy Lee will be in, and he does speak Chinese. Mm-hmm. He'll be explaining some of the fascinating parallels between Chinese written characters and the gospel story. You're looking a bit dubious there, Danielle.
No, Kent, we'll wait and see with that one. And politics.
Yes, politics. Lyle Shelton will be joining us from Canberra a bit later. I'll be asking him about the Australian government's response to the Iraq situation and also about legalising marijuana. It'll be interesting to see what his perspective is.
That's right, Kent. It will, but not before the news.
All yours, Danielle.
Christian groups have welcomed the Australian government's announcement that it will offer refugee visas to Christians and other minorities escaping Iraq's terrorist threat. According to the ABC, the special humanitarian visas do not represent an expansion of Australia's refugee program, but will fall within its yearly intake of nearly 14,000 refugee places. The opposition and the Greens have both called for an expansion in Australia's refugee intake of at least 5,000. And in a surprising development, key Christian leaders around the world are calling specifically for military intervention against the extremists who have declared an Islamic state in parts of Iraq and Syria. The president of Iraq's Catholic bishops has expressed disappointment that America has not taken stronger action against ISIS. And in the US itself, a broad coalition of Christian, Jewish and other representatives, including the Southern Baptists and presidential hopeful Dr. Ben Carson, is calling for expanded airstrikes. They're also urging the US to arm Kurdish forces and others fighting against the Islamist extremists. According to Assist News Service, the conflict in eastern Ukraine includes religious dimensions, with the evangelical community targeted by pro-Russian separatists. Supporters of the Far East Broadcasting Company, a Christian radio ministry, are coming to terms with the deaths of 4 of their volunteers who, it's alleged, were kidnapped and beaten to death by separatists in what's being described as a targeted attack. The organisation's broadcast tower, which is located in the battle zone of Slavansk, was also destroyed. Wesley Mission is asking for help in supporting the 2.7 million Australians who care for a disabled family member. The organisation's research shows that 6 out of 10 carers provide 100 hours of care per week or more. 8 out of 10 carers fear they will suffer a mental breakdown due to a lack of support and respite care.
Caring for a child with disability is more than a full-time job. It's 24 hours a day, non-stop caring. Help us give carers a break before they break down.
Wesley Mission provides respite care for people with disabilities, giving carers some time out so that they can perform at their best. Both New Zealanders and Australians have been shocked at the death of Warriena Wright, who fell from a Gold Coast hotel balcony in an incident that police are treating as a murder investigation. The death of the 26-year-old New Zealand tourist has particularly affected the Porirua Adventist Church in Lower Hutt near Wellington, where Ms Wright's mother is actively involved. The pastor says the church is doing what it can to support family and friends. Strong words have been exchanged and Australia's political divisions have been revealed in the lead-up to next weekend's World Congress of Families regional event to be held in Melbourne. Featured speakers at the Congress include Conservative politicians, church leaders and medical experts who will tackle controversial topics including euthanasia, abortion and the definition of marriage. The Social Services Minister, Kevin Andrews, has been criticised for agreeing to open the Congress, which is described by news.com.au as including speakers and sponsors with extremist views. But a spokesperson for the minister said the event falls legitimately within his portfolio. In a survey of Australia's most trusted brands, a church-owned company has again come up trumps. Sanitarium Weet-Bix has been voted the most trusted breakfast food and the 9th most trusted brand overall out of a field of hundreds of competitors. The Seventh-day Adventist Church has been a leader in the breakfast cereal industry ever since Adventist doctor John Harvey Kellogg invented the humble cornflake in 1891. Weet-Bix continues to be the most popular breakfast cereal in both Australia and New Zealand, which hasn't stopped Sanitarium experimenting with the formula. They recently introduced a gluten-free variety. And another Aussie export is also set to sweep the field in the USA. Hillsong Music has attracted an unprecedented 10 nominations in the lead-up to Christian music's Night of Nights, the Dove Awards. Oceans Where Feet May Fail, which is fast becoming a Hillsong United classic, has been nominated for Song of the Year. And the Sydney megachurch's Young and Free Band is in the running for New Artist of the Year. The 45th annual GMA Dove Awards celebrate and recognise a variety of gospel music genres and will again this year be held in Nashville, Tennessee. 46,000 people have attended one of the Adventist Church's biggest ever youth events at Oshkosh in Wisconsin, USA. The International Pathfinder Camporee attracted 10 to 15-year-olds from across North America and around the world for a 6-day festival of outdoor activities, music, drama and spiritual inspiration.
Maybe his God truly is a living God who protects him. There is room for hope.
Hope is a dangerous thing.
The theme of the Camporee was Forever Faithful, with a focus on the life of the Old Testament prophet Daniel.
See, God used Daniel to talk to the kings of his age. God used Daniel to talk to Nebuchadnezzar and Belshazzar and Darius.
New babies are not known for their timing or patience, and Georgia Kate Hogan is no exception. She managed to time her birth for just when Sydney Adventist Hospital staff were moving the maternity ward into a brand new building. Baby Georgia has become a minor celebrity, the first baby born in the new 12-storey LW Clark Tower. Not that she seems to care.
She wasn't too keen on the bathing, I have to say. It was quite a traumatic experience, the bath, but she's lived to tell the tale. The building is lovely. You can have all the views in the world, but without the great staff, we'd really go anywhere. That if they had the staff that were here and transplanted them into another building, we'd be there as well.
The new hospital facilities, including operating theatres and possibly intensive care, are coming online over the next few months. The new building will be officially opened in October. And that's all the news we have for you this week. Kent.
Thanks, Danielle. We'll take a short break now. I'll be back in just a moment with Lyle Shelton and Politics in Focus. Stay tuned.